Good morning, travelers. Tara here, and I'm going to be coming to you today with a short elementals. Before I lay the spread, I'm going to just go ahead and say I'm going to turn off the comments for the entire Mercury retrograde. I have a double Mercury rulership. My Virgo sun is ruled by Mercury, and my Gemini moon is ruled by Mercury. So that means both my ego and my emotions get triggered during Mercury retrograde. And so in order to sidestep any confusion or I'm just going to turn the comments off. If you really have a need, you want to come over, you want to say something, you can go over to my website. You will see a tab that says YouTube video comments, and that's only for the YouTube video comments. You can go over and leave a comment there, okay? And I do answer and I read them. I'm going to read something to you about Mercury retrograde, so perhaps you'll understand where I'm coming from. And right now it's kind of like still in the shadow phase, even though it went direct. It takes a while for it to slow down. So there's two levels of Mercury retrograde. Mercury retrograde occurs at two levels. At one level, there is not much you can do with the actions of others, except to be more conscious and prepare for delays and errors by double checking. But at the personal level, you can do a lot in order to avoid the consequences of Mercury retrograde. Most of us encounter the consequences when we are not centered, aware of, or conscious of what is going on around us. And more often than not, the culprit is that we are not acting from our heart and spirit. Instead, we are reacting from our needs, our hurts, from our buttons being pushed, or the way that we take care of others and not ourselves. In that way, we act from our shadow, and that is what Mercury retrograde is all about. Mercury retrograde occurs when it is moving backwards into its shadow, and thus communication, scheduling, transportation, and judgment becomes cloudy or error-prone. As much as outer work is challenged by Mercury retrograde, introspection and inner work is very supported. Take advantage of Mercury retrograde by clearing your own tendencies to get caught up in your own shadows and those of others. And so that's what I'm going to do, because quite frankly, it's my channel. I can do whatever the hell I want. But I get so sick of people posting videos or making comments as though they're entitled to get whatever it is that they're looking for. These are free readings. I take time out of my own personal schedule to do this. And if it's free, it doesn't resonate with you, I say that. If you want answers, you have to get a personal reading, because that's how I tune in. You give me your name, you give me your birth date, and then I use that information to shuffle the cards, get in tune with the cards, and then I can tell you exactly what's going on in your own situation. But when it's free, there are two things. You either get what you pay for, and if you didn't pay for it, then you get nothing, okay? Or, you can find another reader. That's it. I don't care about anybody coming up, leaving comments, or critiquing the work, or whatever it is. But the sense of entitlement for people, and this shit is free, I can't stand for it. So I'm just going to turn the comments off. And as I said, you can go over to the website and leave comments if you so choose. Now, someone named Carrie emailed me, I don't know, maybe 4 days ago. And although I didn't respond back to you, Carrie, I'm acknowledging you here on the video. I really, really want to thank you for such a kind email. And it warms my heart. And as a Virgo, there's no higher compliment than hearing someone say how much that you help them, because we are all about service to others. We're more about service to others than we are service to ourselves. And so that's why I'm turning the comments off, because I need some service for myself right now. But I wanted to acknowledge you and let you know that that was really an outstanding email. And I want to thank you so very much for sharing your story with me. I really appreciate that. Now, we're going to go ahead and get started. I have already pre-shuffled the cards. Saturn is going direct on Saturday. Yay! Then we have a full moon on the 14th. And then we have the penumbral eclipse August 18th. So there's a lot of energy moving around. Now, as I was, cards are just flying out. As I was shuffling the cards, 4 cards fell out. As you can see, I placed them there. And let me tell you what these cards are. They are the Knight of Wands, the Devil, and this does represent Saturn, the earthly plane. And then we have the 6 of Coins, and then we have the Moon. Now, I already know how these are coming into play for me. We're going to leave these cards here, and we will see how this plays out with the message of the actual spread. Well, I'm going to put that over there and turn that down. That's a great card. Well, actually, no, I'm going to put it up here. It's kind of like a mini spread all of its own. The cards dealt themselves. It's the Fool. So there you go. We're going to, I do have the Radiant White deck with me this morning. I have the Sibylas and I have the Neapolitans. So we're going to do 9 cards. This is a general reading, people. General. It is absolutely impossible for these cards to tell exactly what's going on in your situation with as many people as there are in the world without some personal information. So the messages will apply to some. They will not apply to all. If you would like more insight into your situation, you can purchase a personal reading. I do have an eclipse special going on until the 18th, the day of the eclipse. $5 off the price. I've already lowered the prices for you guys regularly. So now you get an additional $5 off this week. So if you want to book or you just want to go over and take a look at the website, you can click the little I that says more information up in the right hand corner of the video. That will take you directly to the site. You can click the box Hidden Lotus Tarot in the channel art. You can go to the About box, and I will place my website address in the description box. All right, here we go. 9 cards down. Wow, that's a lot of energy going on. Four Swords. Before I actually read this spread, I was in my channel analytics looking, and I always go in there to see how many men, how many women, what countries, and I was so shocked and surprised to see that 83% of my viewers in Trinidad and Tobago are males. So big ups to the males in Trinidad and Tobago. If I were there, we'd be doing some soca and having some oxtails, rice, and peas. But I'm not, so we'll just do that in a metaphorical sense. And I want to thank you so much. I love it to see more guys. I wish I could get more guy subscribers. I love that. Okay, so thank you very much, Trinidad and Tobago. All right, here we go. In the center, I have a Queen of Pentacles. So this is an earth sign female. She's going to be Virgo, Capricorn, or Taurus. All right. She is the focus of the spread. The 9 cards are 8 of Coins, the Tower, the Knight of Swords, the 10 of Swords, the Queen of Pentacles, the 7 of Cups, the 5 of Pentacles, the 6 of Wands, and then the Knight of Cups. Now, in the past, and listen, if this is not an earth sign female, and I'm gonna give you the second interpretation as an energy, then it is someone who is perhaps in this capacity of either handling a lot of money, accountant, something of that nature, someone who is in service to others, because that's what she represents. I call her the housewife queen, but she's also the one who has champions ecology, abuse pets, abuse children. So this is someone who has that qualities if she's not an earth sign female. This can also be a male, someone who has this side to them, the more compassionate, caring side. Okay, so I'm looking at, there's a project that someone's been working on very, very long and very, very hard. Okay, you can see this person has literally been making money. But there's a shakeup that has come about. And the shakeup has perhaps come through some type of event or some kind of news. This is Gemini. Gemini is ruled by Mercury, okay? And we are having the Mercury retrograde. So this, we can see that this knight comes in. It's like he's coming in either to slow down the falling of the tower, okay? He's rushing in, or maybe he's rushing in to say that help is on the way, okay? But what we see here is that, nevertheless, there was, failure is really not the word. Let's just say that things didn't go quite as planned or as hoped or as expected. This is the card of rock bottom, just saying, you know what, I can't even do this anymore. I'm just not going to deal with it anymore. These are thoughts. That's what the swords represents, thoughts and communications. And we have this queen. Nevertheless, this queen is sitting really rather in a good position. It's not that bad. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 kind of ugly cards, but this is all about change coming in. And whatever this event was that came through, it either has to do with the person's hopes and dreams, okay, or it has to do with the fact that maybe there's a sudden reality that has popped up, okay, because this is about clearing the air, sudden realizations, epiphanies, the lightning bolt, the aha moment, all right? And it happened at lightning speed. I'm looking at these two cards together. It happened at lightning speed. See the lightning bolt? And he's flying in, him and his horse. You know, so this is something that occurred very, very suddenly. And to me, this reads like disappointment. Okay? Now, I can see in this vertical column on the left, which also represents the past, that this has occurred before. All right? Working hard on something, it not going exactly the way you want it to, and having to step away from it, okay? In this sense, I'm not getting that. To me, what it looks like is someone who was working hard, perhaps in trying to build something, but the communications or not being on the same page, and so we go from an 8 to a 5, and 5 are outside influences. So in a sense, it's like whatever this was that occurred, it has happened before, but it was really through events that you couldn't control, okay? And this could be, again, somebody, maybe you're not hearing from somebody, maybe you had put a proposal to someone, thinking it was, you know, you worked long and hard on it, thinking it was the best thing, and then they kind of shot you down. If this is a relationship issue, it's the same thing. It's something you've been working on very long and very hard, a project, something that you really invested yourself in, okay? And now this is either causing you to rethink your position in terms of what your hopes, dreams, and aspirations are, okay? Because if you look, those cups are in the clouds. And sometimes this can, if this has occurred, then it, you know, it may have made you stop and think and say, wow, well, what am I doing? I don't even know why I thought I could do that in the first place. It's too far of a goal. It's too high of a goal. I reached too high. I can't attain that. And that's not true. It's an illusion, which is why the cups are in the clouds. And if it's the reverse, where you're finding out quite suddenly that what you thought about a situation is really not what it is at all, okay? It was an illusion. All right. So that's why you see the guy kind of, he's in shock. He's standing there, you know, oh my God, I thought this is what I was going to be attaining. And now I realize that that's not it at all. And maybe it's not even what I want or what I need. So you have to step away from it. But you still have the desire and the ambition to move forward. And in a sense, even though it did not transpire exactly in the way that you wanted or that you hoped, there's still something very positive in this. This is a 6. And as you can see, the guy's on the horse. Now, this card, the negative aspect of the 6 of Wands can be someone who thinks that they did it all on their own. Okay? Because if you look at, I don't know if you can see the horse's face. He's looking back over his shoulder at the guy like, really? Okay, really? You're going to take all of the credit and you had to do it all on my back. All right? So, and those wands could be, instead, these are, in the case if it's negative, then the wands are you taking responsibility or taking credit for things that really weren't your own. Okay. In the positive, there's a victory in this, but nevertheless, know that these wands can represent, the reason why it's a victory is because you were able to hang on to the lessons. Remember, the wands can also be a spiritual lesson. You were able to hang on to the lessons that you learned from the past as you move forward. So that means that all of those people that came, that kind of, you took them on the journey with you and they helped you to achieve this victory. Okay. And out of this victory, we're going to receive an offer. Now, if this is not an offer of romance, this could be a potential lover appearing on the scene. Yes, that's very true. But in some cases, some people are not in the space right now where they're looking for a relationship. They may be more focused on family issues. They may be more focused on work. They may be more self-focused. Whatever this is, it's going to be something that has a potential to make you feel very, very good. All right. But what is most interesting to me is this sequence of cards here. It's a tearing down of something, the clearing of the air. It is return to reality, being disappointed about that. There is a victory in this, but now you've got to rethink your position perhaps. Okay. Either how am I really going to go about the way that I was going about trying to attain my goals and dreams, my hopes and wishes, it wasn't really based in reality. Or the possibility to get, what I thought was real really wasn't real. Okay. So this is a change. And I can see that this change, again, came through some type of event or some type of, it's like a stopping. And maybe this has to do with Mercury retrograde. That tends to happen. Delays, slowdowns, lost emails, petty fights, miscommunications, not being able to get your point across. Somebody, you're getting your point across, but somebody else is hearing it in a different way. So, and really, if this is happening to you, then you need to probably take a step back from that. And it may appear that you, in other words, to me, going from an 8 of coins to a 5 of coins is simply, it's just a loss of ground on a material sense. Okay, that's it. It's just a little bit of loss. Let's say, okay, well, that didn't quite work out. But it doesn't mean you have to give up. You go back to the drawing board and you formulate a new plan. Okay, and as we can see here, this is exactly what I think occurs. You go back and you formulate a new plan. Okay, you still have something. You still have something. And if you can formulate the new plan, keep at it because it's going to yield some results for you. Now, what this is saying to me, because over here I have the Leo card, and we know that we're in August. This is the month of Leo. So this could represent perhaps a younger fire sign person that you're dealing with, but it can also just simply represent the energy of maybe perhaps you moving too fast, not really giving a whole lot of thought to what you were doing, trying to rush the process. Saturn comes in to say, hey, wait a minute, not yet, not yet. Because there's something that you need to do. There's something that needs to be balanced in this situation. Maybe you're giving too much and you're not receiving anything back. Maybe you overextended yourself and it wasn't appreciated. Okay, but it can also mean that in a sense it's kind of reading like it's in the reverse. And if it's in the reverse, then the coins are going back to his hand. Okay, so maybe you need to, again, take a step back and be in service to yourself. Regain the balance to yourself. Give something to yourself first. Now, there is something unknown about this. And there literally could be some deceptions here. We do have these cards. Okay, we do have these cards. But at the same time, more than likely, what is going on is that there are a bunch of insecurities being brought up. These are subconscious things that are coming up from underneath, being triggered. And this is an opportunity for you to work on whatever it is that's bothering you. Okay. So, if you don't think you're handsome enough or rich enough or cool enough or skinny enough or beautiful enough, stop and just know you are enough. Now, those people around you that don't see that you're enough, maybe those aren't the people you should be around. Okay. And that is your choice. This could also be representative of something coming about and a change, and it definitely is a change coming about through the eclipse because it follows with the Fool card. Now, I want you to take a good look at this because this card, the Tower, represents Mars and Uranus as well. Uranus is the liberator. It is sudden, unexpected changes, okay? These things aren't always bad. It may appear that way at one point, but it's done because it's trying to give you an opportunity to change. Something needs to change, and it needs to change quickly. Okay, the universe is trying to move you along. But if you look at this, this is the opportunity. Really, it's a fresh start. And that's what the Tower and Uranus are all about. It is the opportunity to change and expand and to grow. Now, the warning is don't be naive and don't be foolish. Okay, so if something has ended, then it has ended, then perhaps it was time for it to end. Okay, and don't be foolish and try to hang on to something that's not in your higher interest. And I say that because I have these two cards. This is Mercury retrograde, and old situations and old lovers come back. Okay, now this does not mean that you won't get a second chance at a reconciliation, but really some things that you broke up with that person for a reason. And so be very cautious and very aware. If things haven't changed, why go back? Okay. How can you expect to get a different result doing the same thing? And if the person is continuing to do the same thing, then no, nothing is going to change. Okay. So during this time frame, I want you to think long and hard. Take your time making decisions. I would not make any, as we can see, it's going to happen anyway. So kind of just sit back perhaps and let things play out on their own. Now, at the same time, you can't stop living during retrogrades. You can't. There are things you have to do. So do whatever it is that you have to do. Just be a little bit more cautious. No knee-jerk reactions. Double check all facts and figures. Try to hone into your intuition, and try to remain as balanced as you possibly can. I see here that whatever this is a sudden something that's a victory for this person in the center. And even this can speak to the return of a situation or a person quite suddenly coming back that's going to throw some confusion into the mix. Okay, or getting some kind of message that you don't quite understand. Mercury retrograde, it's confusing. You don't understand what the hell is going on. It puts your emotions all at sea. Okay, but you got this. And there is a lot of movement. That's 3 nights here, 2 traveling to the past. And this could literally be going back over old romantic issues, emotional issues, childhood issues, issues with finances, in whatever area of life that you're struggling. This is a return back. So it's like you get retrograde. It's like a redo. You're going to get an opportunity to redo this. Just know that when the eclipse comes up, if something ends or you begin something that's final, it's either going to be the culmination of an ending that's done, or it's going to be the opportunity to move fresh in a new direction. Particularly with the Saturn going direct, I would say most definitely that it is an opportunity, because hopefully you've been building those foundations. Remember, Saturn is the father of time, and he comes in to kind of give you the smackdown to slow you down so that you can think carefully, because Saturn rules long-term things. Okay, so whatever is begun, it's going to be a cycle that lasts for a long time. We do have Jupiter transiting through the rest of the zodiac, starting with Libra on September 9th. It leaves Virgo, and you only get that Jupiter cycle once every 12 years, okay? So if you've been really doing the work, the inner work, okay, and getting a handle on your values, getting a handle on what's most important, where you want to go with your life, what direction, what things do you want for yourself, then you should be okay. Stick to that and be true to it. You don't have to be mean and nasty to people who interfere, but just stand your ground. Now, the message that I'm getting here with the 5 cards that fell out before, Knight of Wands, the Devil, the 6 of Pentacles with the Moon. This is either, listen, this is either going to be somebody from your past returning, and they want something from you. They want something from you. The 6 of Pentacles. But I'm not exactly sure, the Devil with the Moon, that their intentions are going to be good. Okay. Or this could be a new person coming in for you. Now, quite suddenly. Now remember, because he's the Knight of Wands, this is the guy, whether it's male or female, this is the person who shows up very quickly, but just as quickly as they show up, they can leave. But if this is a new person, it can go either way. Because again, they're coming to either share something with you, okay? They could be coming to take something away from you. But you're going to have some kind of past life karmic connection with this person. If it's not somebody old from your past, it is definitely someone new. And this person could be coming to either pay you back for a past life deed that you did, okay? And that's how it's starting to feel now. You don't know this yet, and you don't know how they're going to be paying you back, in what way, shape, or form. But it's going to allow you to move to a new level. So again, be very cautious now, because we do have the Devil and the Moon. Now I'm going to pull a few Sibilas. I want to see what this Knight of Swords is all about. And then I'm going to pull some cards on the Devil and the Moon. Pull Sibilas. Damn Llewellyn. All right, here we go. Pull some 3 cards on the Knight. Okay. This is about either some type of bond or contract. Okay. It's kind of in the past position. Here we have the dilettante. And this is about stupid actions or stupid behaviors. And then a trip or a visit. So, in a sense, the cards don't make any sense to me, the 3 together. I don't know if it's saying that there's a past. Again, someone from the past coming back. But we already know that, well, either at this point it's not going well, okay? Or it could be the sudden realization of a new bond coming, and this has been done either through a visit or a trip. Some kind of news coming in, some kind of sudden realization, okay? It reads more like something to do with the past that did not go well, returning quite suddenly. Mercury retrograde. Now, the 2 cards of the Moon and the Devil and the Moon. Whatever this is, it is an opportunity to release. Remember, the Devil, if they don't have you chained up in the basement, bound and gagged, you can walk away. This may not be in the literal sense of a relationship, but it can also be speaking about you yourself, keeping yourself chained and bound through fears, addictions, behavioral patterns, insecurities. It is an opportunity for you to release this. The 3 cards. Let's see what the cards are telling us. The sacerdote, the melancholia, and the letter. Now, this is either going to be someone who is trying to move through a release of some psychological or whatever emotional issues coming through, perhaps not being quite that successful yet, and the messages, the news are going to be coming from them, but they can't quite make heads or tails of what the higher self is saying to them. Or the cards could be saying that this is a single man right now, and there's some kind of depression or sadness going on here. Again, it reads something's not quite right, and either you're going to be getting news or it's going to be coming through your intuition. I don't know how that's going to play out for you. It's kind of enigmatic, and that's really how the cards are playing out. Eclipses hide things. I'm going to do one more set of Sibilas, and what I want to see the 7 of Cups. Now this is interesting because I have a 5, a 6, a 7, an 8, and then I go to a 10. And the 10s turn into aces. So how does that play out for this? Now there's either some confusion surrounding a lover. Is this really the person for me? Is it really something in my highest good? Or finding out that it was all an illusion. That's what I have for you. I hope those messages helped. And until next time, namaste.